crypto fam to the #1 daily Bitcoin pod. Bitcoin pumping back in the green. We recaptured 104 here today. In fact, not too long ago, we were 105. And happy TGIF. In today's show, I'll be sharing the latest technical analysis, including Bitcoin hitting 220,000 reasonable. In fact, I'll be breaking down the timeline. We'll also be discussing U.S. Senate will pass the stablecoin bill, according to the Digital Chamber chief. Also, China-linked consumer brand Day Cook plans to acquire 5,000 Bitcoin. Also, Bitcoin Treasury pivot lifts luxury watchmaker stock more than 60%. We'll also be discussing big news. Basel Medical Group announces plans to acquire $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Also, Panama City Mayor hints at a Bitcoin reserve following a meeting with El Salvador advisors. And guess what? At the Max and Stacy Invitational, the largest bank in Panama is the main sponsor for the event. So shout out to the High Priest, Max, and as well as Stacy. We'll be discussing Panama as one of the big stories here today. Also, the world is trying to hoard Bitcoin right now. According to Eric Trump, he also says that Bitcoin is heading to $1 million and that he is very confident in Bitcoin striking the $1 million milestone. We'll also be taking a look at the overall crypto market. All this, plus so much more in today's show. It looks dark here in the office because it's very gloomy out there, so very low natural lighting, but we got to do what we got to do. Happy TGIF. Welcome everyone to the live stream, streaming live on X, Rumble, and YouTube, and I will be streaming for the next couple of hours. Give it up for your former chairman of the SEC, Nipinator. Shout out everyone in the live chat, musicians live, Fairground, Short Coin, DNA at home watching the greatest show on YouTube. Love your brother, right back. Boom shakalaka. Shout out the rest of the fam as well, of course, all of the moderators. Greatly appreciate everyone's support. And let's get this show started, shall we? I'm going to go ahead and pin the stream to the top of the profile. You guys know what to do on X. Comments and quotes are greatly appreciated. And if you can repost the stream, let's get it.
Oh my gosh, it's finally almost here. JV is going to talk to us. Crypto news is near. I can't stand waiting. There is no debating. I waited all day, maybe I need a life, but Bitcoin is all I can think about day and night. Hurry, JV.
Welcome everyone to the live stream. What it do? The weekend is amongst us. Make some noise for that. Bitcoin doing its thing, hovering at around 104. At the time of the live stream, a lot of analysts are saying like 130 to 150 is going to be the next leg up, including Mike Novogratz, who was recently doing the rounds on the mainstream. What up, fam? Shout out East Afro King. Good to have you here. Trevor Fay, the one and only TGIF stack, the Biddy Overkill. What it do? Howard Joblo JB, Play Pump It Up by Elvis Costello. I'm not familiar with that version, but we have the old school version. Oracle, answer your phone.
Pump it up, don't you know? Pump it up.
And I got myself my second cup of espresso. Caffeinated JV in the building. Let's go. And Nipinator's all clean. My daughter gave him a nice bath and we washed his beds, multiple beds, and all his blankets. So no more Stinkinator. He's back to the Nipinator. So shout out Chandy10, the one and only. Good to have you here. Biddy Nation, one love. Shout out DJ Wednesday. Tammy Hatcher in the building. Happy Friday. Crypto News Alerts fam. It is that time. Exciting times. Good to have everyone here. I'm going to sip on some caffeine. We'll welcome everyone joining the live. Again, it's a live stream, tri-stream. Trevor, appreciate you, brother. TGIF, join JV and the crew for the latest of the Biddy news. Shout out Fairground, always keeping it fair. Respect, brother. He wrote, repost the repost of 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 the repost. And of course, Chandy10, the greatest. Greatly appreciate you. We'll be premiering a brand new track from her later on in the stream, which she released on X late last night, which is pretty lit. Brand new playlist, by the way. Shout out Adam Taylor. Greatly appreciate it. Jess Tech, the growing enthusiasm for Bitcoin highlights increased public trust in decentralized currency. You can say that again. And appreciate the comment. I've never seen you before, so I'm going to follow you back. Anyone who supports the stream, I will support you. My main account here has over 40,000 followers, so if you'd like me to shout you out, repost you, and follow you back, make sure to show us some love. We appreciate that. Let's go. Harry Ball's in the building, keeping it hairy as always. But what about that Bitcoin swag?
So chillin' hot with my Bitcoin.
You feel that?
Swagger from the bitty stack. It goes up, up, up. Bitcoin goes.
It goes doing, doing, doing.
It's a thrill ride. A stack deck built so right. Gonna bust out of the firmament.
Let's go.
Beyond
The water-filled sky.
Trust this, don't wear a nail on your forehead with an opportunity miss. Bitcoin thrust, fiat rust, stamp your future and still.
keep it with swagger, securing Superman, real B is Satoshi level. Trump card holding kinda killer.
With W's and M's for the orange pill, set for making mid.
I got that Bitcoin swagger. You got that Bitcoin swagger. We got that Bitcoin swagger.
Stacking sats, feeling bad, looking sharper than a dagger. Be an Arkansas jam with diamond hands.
Cool, I think I got everyone reposted. What up? Bill Graper, Bill Grizzle, and the Hizzle. I love it. Good to have you here. Let's strike the gong. Let's send Bitcoin where it belongs. In price discovery, we're a half a god candle away, for Christ's sake. So this is a bitty gong strike to new all-time highs. Send it.
Got no kryptonite, just orange bitty light. Paper gets wrinkled, crinkled.
Texas,
Hold 'em,
Montana,
hold 'em,
Missouri,
hold 'em,
New York,
hold 'em,
Florida,
hold 'em.
Puerto Rico, El Salvador.
You already
Oracle's like, I'm still not answering.
know.
Swagger holding with an orange glow.
Prodigy, swagger hot.
Reserve to preserve. Strategy for prosperity.
You feel that? That's Bitcoin swagger, baby.
Walking like your wallet got laser eyes.
Bitty climbs higher than a high rise. Laser eyes, not surprised.
I got that bitty drip, fiat doing backflips. We don't beg no banker, we just walk with that Bitcoin swag. Bitcoin swagger.
Who got that Bitcoin swag? Let me know. Gong equals the super quack. Shout out to the Thunder Duck. Whatever happened? I remember as a kid watching, what was it, the Mighty Ducks? That was a classic back in the good old days. And I think, what's his name? Billionaire crypto entrepreneur. What was his name? Brock Pierce, who created EOS. He was actually in the Mighty Ducks. Ironic enough how that is. And ironic he happened to move to Puerto Rico and all that kind of stuff. So small world. The super quack. That's my Donald Duck impression for the day. But anyways, let's kick off the show, fam-a-lam. If you're new to the stream, it's very important. Smash the likes. If you're on the tube, repost it on the X. And then go ahead, ring the bell, turn on all notifications. That way you get notified each and every day when I'm live. Today is pod 1993. I'm your host, JV. Happy May 16th, 2025. Very significant day today. Can anyone guess why? It's my mama's birthday. So without my mama, I wouldn't be here right now. So help me wish my mother a happy birthday. The big 72 today. So we celebrate. But anyways, fam, let's kick it off with our market watch as we do each and every day. You should be able to see on your screen here, pulling up Bitcoin back in the green, up almost 1% on the day, just above 104 at the time of the live stream. We have Ether up 2.5%, just shy of 2600. XRP currently correcting alongside BNB, Tron, and the Pi Network. And checking out CoinMarketCap.com. Still almost 3.33 trillion. It's been stuck for the past couple of days, but today is 3.32 trillion. Bitcoin market cap 2.06 trillion. And we have 113 billion worth of volume over the past 24 hours. Bitcoin dominance 62.1% with Ether dominance at 9.4%. And checking out top 100 crypto gainers past 24 hours. Onyx, let the boys be boys. Slam up 18% on the day, followed by Hype up 9%, followed by EOS. Speaking of Brock Pierce earlier, up 8%. Let me know which alt, if any, you're bullish on for the bull, and holla at your boy in the Nibinator. And checking out the crypto bubbles, we get a visual perspective on the day. I would dare say 80-20 green over red. Zooming out on the weekly. Maybe 60-40 red over green. And zooming out on the monthly, cha-ching, the entire market pumping in the green with some of these meme tokens up hundreds of percent, like the pudgy little penguins and WIF and even Trump coin up 65% on the month. And checking out the crypto greed and fear index. Today we're at 71 greed. Yesterday at 70. Last week at 73. And last month at 29 in fear. And checking out the infamous time chain calendar. We have 155,011 blocks until the halving of 2028. Hopefully Bitcoin's like in the $1 million range by then. There's just no telling with a young Janet Yellen. And we're currently on block number 896,989. You can currently exchange one fiat monopoly dollar for 962 sats. So you know what to do, broskies. Pick up the sats, put down the gats, and pick up some Bitcoin caps. From my man Sergio over at BitcoinCaps.net. Get yourself a custom Biddy exclusive. I wished her happy birthday on Facebook. I saw that, Chandy. Greatly appreciate that. Happy birthday to JV's mom. This gong strike is for you, mama. I don't know if you're watching the stream, but if you are or if you're not, is irrelevant. This gong strike is for you. Let's go. Thank you for the birthday wishes, Howard. Happy birthday, JV's mom. We are birthday neighbors. How awesome is that? I try to get a pic of her mom to send it to you. She lives in the pasture next to us and comes up to dig our trash a lot. Paper and her go out and do not get along, but Paper loves the pup. That's good to hear that Paper and India get along just fine. That's awesome. Paper is so cute naturally, and now Paper's all grown, and India's the new cute little pup. The new pup on the block. Cool, please. Awesome. Okay. Happy birthday. Appreciate the birthday wishes. And again, welcome everyone to the live stream. Looks like we're up to 400 people here already, and we're streaming today on X Rumble and YouTube. And Shelton, appreciate you, brother. Join JB and the CNA fam. Just said you would repost. Lots of bullishness continuing. Strategic Bitcoin reserve in Panama likely within 12 months. You already know. Trump family obviously very bullish on Bitcoin and crypto. More Bitcoin treasury companies being birthed practically every day, from China to the United States and everywhere in between. Very exciting times, family. Let's transition into our TA, aka astrology for the broskies, shall we? Headline here reads, Bitcoin hitting 220,000. Reasonable. Yeah, you're damn right, says goal-based forecast. So let's break this bitty TA down, and then we'll pull up some of the live charts as we do each and every day. Bitcoin has a decent chance of hitting 250 or more this year as attention turns to the gold copycat moves. And I can't say that second part of that word without the nibbinator going wild, if you know what I'm saying. Now, Bitcoin following gold to new all-time highs is a popular theory amongst the bulls. Historically, Bitcoin follows the gold higher with a delay of several months. And as per this analyst, the implications are considerable. This time around, with gold hitting 3,500 per ounce, which is a record all-time high. Hence, Peter Schiff doing backflips at his home here in Puerto Rico. Now, the future for the Bitcoin price action is bright. That's right. Bitcoin's position relative to gold has improved considerably since April. This is the indicator that gives me hope for the higher than expected returns later this year. And you can see the Bitcoin power curve in US dollars and gold as outlined right here. And you already know the precious metal market cap is like 22 trillion. Bitcoin market cap, 2 trillion. So we could easily do another 10x from here, and I could only imagine Bitcoin in the 7-figure range at that time, by the time we overtake the gold market cap. But let me know your thoughts. The power curve concept involves measuring Bitcoin price in gold ounces to avoid inflationary nature of the US dollar, and that's the future, because we're not going to be able to compare Bitcoin to fiat forever, because the fiat's eventually going to go to zero. Hence, we will maybe be comparing it in gold ounces. I think that's a good point. Here I am measuring the value of the Bitcoin network market cap in gold ounces and fitting that value to the power curve, according to the analyst. And amongst the results in a potential bull market target, the contextualizing the top of 2017 when we hit the 20,000 all-time high of that year. How many of you were around back then? Let me know. Quoting him here, the Bitcoin network value measured in gold continues to follow the power curve, and gold holds the current value. The Bitcoin price returns to 5 years ahead of support, 444 this year. Now we're talking. This week, he also suggested a more reasonable target for 2025 at 220. So there you have it. Bear scenario, 220. Bull scenario, 444. Por favor. He also says if we start getting above 250, that's what I would consider higher than expected. Now, I do think there is a decent chance we get there. It's just not the most likely outcome. Everything can be divided by probabilities. He's ultimately saying we have to have an open mind that that can very likely happen. I mean, Bitcoin has no top, fiat has no bottom, but he's ultimately saying the more likely outcome is 300,000 range. But you let me know your thoughts. Continuing to the gold theme, analysts considered data showing how high Bitcoin could go and where to capture varying portions of the gold market cap. This would come about thanks to a shift towards digital gold, something widely anticipated to gain momentum in the coming years. Quoting the analyst here, if gold hits 5,000 an ounce, practically, what is that, double the current price? No, 35, whatever. By 2030, the Bitcoin captures 50% of the market cap. That puts Bitcoin at 924,000. I want to repeat, if gold hits 5,000, at 2x, Bitcoin will capture 50% of the market cap and put Bitcoin at 924,000. What has a better upside? Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. There is no second best. The report also said the data does not represent a price prediction per se, I guess covering their ass, but rather a scenario-based framework rooted in our established gold model that offers a clearer sense of what relative revelations of non-sovereign hard assets might look like by the decade's end. Then you guys already know Kathy Wood suggesting we can hit 2.4 million in a bull scenario. For this particular heading to the top of the decade, Arthur Hayes, as I covered, I believe that was yesterday's podcast, is suggesting we can hit $1 million within the next 3 years by the year 2028, which is the year of the next halving. Let me know if you agree, disagree. And let's pull up some of the live charts. I'm going to do some live chart biddy action Jackson for the broskies and the baddies. So you should be able to see live on your screen via TradingView, via Coinbase, 1 hour chart. A few targets in play. We do have a green bull scenario sitting at 116, bullish pennant, very bullish for the 1 hour chart. And zooming out from there, and we do have an overall bullish pennant formation, which is also very bullish. Checking out the 4 hour chart. 4 hour is also a bullish pennant. We also have a similar target here. Sitting at 116 in play. I mean, that's very probable, in my opinion, if we break 109.3, current all-time high, sending us back to price discovery, considering it's been since January when we hit that level, and it's still the most bullish time of the season, the year after the halving, and check the 4-year cycle, right? And checking out the daily chart says it's going up forever, JP. We do have a red target in play, sitting at 111, price discovery level, and we've had a lot of bullish momentum over the past maybe 5-6 weeks, nothing but pure bullishness after having a pretty stagnant few months prior after hitting the all-time high back in January. And zooming out a little further, we'll check out the weekly, in which we will get a weekly candle close in a couple of days on Sunday, and check that out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 green consecutive weekly closes. Bullish territory has resumed. We also have the 124 cup and handle target in play, which has been sitting on this chart for literally months, as we cover this every day. You guys should know. But anyways, checking out also the monthly, taking a quick look, and I accidentally just hit something else called the 10 range. I'm not even going to pretend to understand what that chart means. Give me a second. Let's go to the 1 month and get a broad perspective here. The 1 month chart, we're halfway through the month. So thus far, green. Last month was a nice green candle. It looks like this month we'll get another green candle, and hopefully we continue the bullish momentum. It's been nothing but pure bullishness since we transitioned from Q1 to Q2 2025, year preceding the halving, new all-time highs in play. And if you don't know, you're gay. Sorry, got to call it out. Those are the good numbers. That's right. Shout out OG back row, good the bootleg. What it do? 225 bearish scenario from the Oracle 1 million cycle peak. Send it. I got that Bitcoin swagger. If fiat has no value, they can put any value to the biddy. I don't know how that would work. The price of everything could be inflated. And in fact, the price of everything will get inflated. Hence, it's all going to zero against Bitcoin. And did you guys see in the news that scientists, physicists, they discovered how to turn lead into gold? Talk about scarcity. Bitcoin is the only true scarce asset. And also, Barbara O'Neill revealed you can regrow your teeth through different frequencies. I actually reposted it earlier. This is actually real news, by the way. Now, some of you mainstream folks may call Barbara O'Neill a quack, like you look in the comments, quack, quack. She's a quack. She's offering holistic approaches to the Western science. She's not trusting the science. Well, I'll tell you, that quack helped me solve some serious health conditions, so she has my utmost respect. Shout out Barbara O'Neill, and shout out all the holistic practitioners teaching natural remedies to our health versus relying on the Satanist doctors who have everything wrong. And I'll call it out for what it is. But yeah, you can regrow your teeth with the right frequencies. You can turn lead into gold. So what's the really only true scarce asset besides the unvaxxed sperm? Bitcoin, Bitcoin, Bitcoin. It's going up forever, Laura.
Which one's the best crypto asset? Well, Bitcoin's the best crypto asset. Okay. What's the second best? There is no second best.
I'm not saying I'm number one. I'm sorry, I lied. I'm number 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
Exactly. My favorite word is alchemy. Hence, they refer to Saylor. He made the cover of the Forbes magazine and it says the Bitcoin alchemist. That's right, because he knows how to create Bitcoin out of thin air. It's magical, nothing short. And now they can turn lead into gold. How scarce really is gold? They can create infinite synthetic diamonds. Why are we risking African lives digging those up? You can create the cubic zirconium. Diamonds only have so much value because of the scarcity perceived in the market. But what if it's all an illusion, just like everything else in our Truman Show we're living in? Just some food for thought, broskies. My functional medicine doctor does frequency-specific microcurrents. That's fantastic. Candace Estevez. Where my mom lives in Florida, they actually have some, like a meditation crystal center, and they do the things with the frequencies as well, which is very awesome. So that's great. Texas Hold'em, I call it, I raise. All in, baby. Like a young Doily Bronson in this piece. Let's get it. Over Unity Energy, baby. Shout out Leroy Essel. What it do? Upward Trend JV. Free energy for the biddy. I dare say Nikola Tesla discovered free energy a century ago. And then guess what? They suppressed the technology. Allegedly, it was Trump's grandfather or great-grandfather who actually seized that technology. Who knows? The world is a stage, a wise man by the name of William Shakespeare once said, and everyone's just actors playing their part. What's your thoughts on that? It's all an illusion. Look over here. It's the old sleight of hand from the magician. Precisely. What do you think Hollywood, the name Hollywood comes from? That was a type of wood used by magicians to deceive the masses. And what is Hollywood known for? Deceiving the masses. Precisely what they're known for. Ain't no Diddy parties around yonder. Especially the diamond market. Yeah, absolutely. Gold, precious metals, diamonds, you name it. All artificially inflated. And there's a lot more derivatives circulating, which is paper versions of the precious metals. So not only is the assets, I guess you can call it relatively scarce, which means there's a degree of scarcity, but only Bitcoin has true scarcity. There's no other form of money that has absolute scarcity, more absolute than the absolute vodka that these people drink. Absolutely. Trump's uncle, JV. Oh, it's the uncle. Thanks for the clarification, Oracle. That's something, isn't it? And there's other theories that maybe little Baron Trump is a time traveler. There was like a book published over 100 years ago talking about like the adventures of a young Baron Trump. It's crazy, this world we're living in. Some would dare say it's a simulation. What are your thoughts? With social media, the world is a bigger stage. Plenty of actors, I will say that. It's definitely entertaining. Are you not entertained? I perceive the world on a world stage as like Young and the Restless, or like my mom. I'd always see her watching soap operas growing up. And that's what I tell her now. I'm like, the world is just one big reality show. And we're the audience. They're all professional actors here to deceive you. And we buy into it, meaning there's a script writer from Central Intelligence, more than likely. And they're writing all the scripts and people are just playing their part. And that would explain why they all have immunity, even though they're, committing crimes against humanity. It's because they're protected. And the people behind them give them that, right? Because the true power is always in the shadows. You will never see true power in the public eye, because that's not how true power works. And if you think it is, you just don't understand the game of chess, which is the game of life and how the game is played. But I can guarantee you that true power is always in the shadows, and every public figure is just a puppet for their puppet master. And that's why they have immunity. That's why you'll never see Fauci or Obama or Hillary go to prison. You're like, why? I don't understand. Why isn't Bill Gates in prison? Look what he has done to the African children. It's because he's just a puppet. He's just an actor playing his role. And then the real evil is behind him. You understand that? Anyways, UAE is leading reinformation for the Islam. That's right. It's okay to buy Bitcoin for the Muslims. We discussed this the other day. The world is one big soap opera. It's a big show, The Young and the Restless. I forget the other soap operas, but that one always comes to my mind. Same thing, filled with drama. You can ask your Uncle Obama. Big Mike, what to do? Yeah, man, I always wanted to ask David Copperfield if he could make the Statue of Liberty disappear without all of that smoke. Shout out David Copperfield, little David Blaine and the rest of the magicians, deceiving the world. But anyways, yo, let's continue. Let me check my X feed again and finish this espresso. I'm going to repost everyone. I saw Harame in the sky today and said he should have bought Bitcoin when he was still watching over JV. Game on, brother. Respect. Appreciate your facts. Shout out Catherine Weaver. Always appreciated. Just hit you with a repost and another repost. And Shandy 10, another repost. Reposted. Shout out Chris. Chris says, let's get it on, baby, baby. Just reposted. No Diddy. Shout out Short Coin. And isn't it like day 4 or 5 of the Diddy trial? I think that's all an illusion as well. I perceive Diddy as a 3-letter organization asset, and it's just smoke and mirrors. You think they're going to reveal the Gilligan's Island flight log anytime soon? Nope. They're going to cover all that up because those are the people controlling the world. Like I said, they all have immunity. They're all protected. So you're not going to see any the illusion. Oh, wait for the mass arrests. We're going to get them. I wish. I don't like to see these bad things happening to children. But when you have Satanists running the world, what is the worst thing you can do is hurt children as a Satanist, because that's their retaliation towards God, because children is the purest thing that God has ever created. And that's why they harm children. That's probably a part of it. It's more sickening than that, but we can't get any deeper. We're on the tube. But Satanists run the world, unfortunately. So that's why it's important to spread the word of God. And that's part of my mission here with CNA, is preaching the holy gospel of Satoshi. I do genuinely believe God provided this information and technology to Satoshi, and Satoshi shared it with us humans. And now we have perfect money, and we can fight back against the forces of evil and the corruption in this Truman Show, in which we're witnessing in real time. Because you smoke a lot of the doobie before your show. Maybe, no, that's not accurate. I don't smoke doobies before the show. I don't smoke weed before the show. I don't do any form of drug or hallucinogen before my show. Maybe in the evenings I'll take an edible or hit the vape or smoke a Bluntsky, but that's usually late at night specifically to help me sleep and to channel Satoshi. So don't get it twisted. Don't think just because I'm sharing these crazy theories that I must be smoking something. That's not accurate at all. I don't smoke or touch or part. You guys will know when I got the Chinese eyes at night, and I do the nighttime JV at midnight. Maybe then there's a possibility, but never in the day. That's not my style, so don't get her twisted. Mt. Gox still won't give me my biddies. Shit, how long has it been? A decade. Tesla rediscovered the free energy. Exactly. Many ancient civilizations have talked about the free energy. There's an abundance of free energy on the planet. We don't need oil. That's only due to the Rockefeller clan, the Rockefeller Foundation, which destroyed everything, including creating big pharma, destroying our health, through the oil industry, controlling us, enslaving us, all that kind of stuff. You already know. You're exactly right, JV. Shout out Tammy Hatch. Appreciate it. JV sober, not high. I know. See, I start talking about truth, and then people, he must be smoking the doobie. I wish. I got a show to do. If I smoke the doobie, I'm going to be a little slowed down. I'll be like, hey, guys. You know what I mean? I'm caffeinated, JV. It's the opposite. Polar opposite, I dare say. But anyways, keep the comments that come in. We're going to transition into our next story of the day. I know I'm ranting today, but it's very necessary. Very necessary.
I got that Bitcoin swagger. You got that Bitcoin swagger. We got that Bitcoin swagger.
Stacking sats, feeling bad, looking sharper than a dagger. QR flash, got cash in my code. Cold wallet, chiller than a Yeti in the snow.
Doing, cold storm for the rocket flame. Take off, lift off, so chill as we fire it up. Moon up, doing up, yup,
Dancing on inflation like it's 1984. Ain't no Fed chair telling me where to go. Haters talk smack, I just nod and stack. Flex that orange bee like a royal flag. Taproot smooth, got a flex so pure. Even my memes got a network secure.
You hear that cha-ching? It's my bitty bling. That sound money shaking up the game. Satoshi style, truth on the chain. Yeah, we got that timeless flame.
All right, fam, I do have an incredible amount of news to get through, so we're going to continue with where we left off before my rant. Next story of the day, Famalam, and make some noise. Shout out everyone in that chat. Up to 700 people on the live stream. Greatly appreciate y'all. Next big story of the day, U.S. Senate will pass the stablecoin bill. It's a given. We all know it's going to pass because Trump's entire administration is pro that stablecoin bill. The stalling of the key stablecoin legislation of the U.S. Senate was a minor setback, and the bill will pass in the coming weeks, according to Cody Carbone, the CEO of the Digital Chamber of Washington, D.C. Blockchain Trade Association Advocacy Group. That's a mouthful. Speaking of Cointelegraph, at Consensus, Carbone argued it is in the best interest of the U.S. to pass comprehensive stablecoin regulation to protect the U.S. dollar hegemony. I got it right, finally, Oracle. In global markets, which has bipartisan appeal and support, quoting them here, these things never move as quickly as we want them to move, but it is the stablecoin legislation. This Congress has already moved more expeditiously than we ever could have imagined. So yes, it is a bump in the road, but I think very, very shortly we'll have another vote. Now, the guiding and establishing national innovation of the U.S. stablecoin of 2025, better known as the Genius Act, is seen as a critical piece of legislation. Failing to pass comprehensive regulatory reform before the midterm elections in 2026 could mean a reversal in the positive regulatory environment and a downturn in the crypto markets. Quoting the bill here, negotiations have continued, so I am still very optimistic, according to Carbone, and he shared the bill, as you can see on your screen. I think it's just a matter of time, personally. The act failed to pass the procedural vote. Hence, that just actually happened with Ripple and the SEC. They came to an agreement of $50 million, and then Judge Torres just said, no, you guys didn't follow the procedural court rules or whatever. So it's still ongoing now 5 years later, which is mind-boggling. But anyways, the act failed to pass the procedural vote May 8th after several Democratic lawmakers withdrew support for the bill, citing U.S. President Trump's involvement in crypto as a potential cause for ethic concerns and the primary driver for backpedaling support for the bill at the very last minute. And meanwhile, Coinbase chief legal officer said that Trump's crypto ties complicate the regulatory process as lawmakers continue to scrutinize his activities in the meme coin market, decentralized finance, and the NFT sector. Meanwhile, Republican Senator Tim Scott fired back against the concerns voiced by the Dem policymakers, attributing the failure to bipartisan politics and an attempt by Democrats to prevent Trump from achieving the admin's digital asset goals. The latest version of the bill removes references to the Trump family and could pass the Senate by the end of May, some industry executives say. Let me know if you agree, disagree, and do you think that stablecoin bill will come sooner than later? Holla at your boy. Do you think Coinbase got hacked or it was all planned? Fantastic question. I do think that KYC is evil, and regardless how it leaks, it always leaks. Give me one major platform that hadn't had a data leak. Do any exist? Facebook, Meta, whatever. Yeah, I mean, Coinbase, you name it. Because it's a honeypot for hackers, and it's easy for them to steal the information. It's just a damn shame it's required by the government for them to collect all your personal data. It will be used against you. My mom has had her identity stolen like a dozen fucking times, and it never ends, and she can't stand it. There's always people using her information because her information has been stolen over and over and over the decades. And then these hackers and bastards, they sell the information to the highest bidder. And then they have your personal info. Now they're trying to hack you. So be very wary. If a alleged Coinbase email or letter in the mail or someone calls you on the phone, because they know who the high net worth individuals are. They know exactly how much Bitcoin you removed off the exchange sitting in your cold wallet. Why? They have all your fucking data. They have your last 4 digits of your social security. They have your address. They have your full name. This is how identity theft is running so rampant. So protect yourselves, kids. I'm just saying, these damn hackers got some nerve hacking my mom. Bastards.
They not like us. They not like us.
Blame it on Barron. Exactly, Warpaint. Blame it on someone. Creme brulee. Someone say creme brulee. Hey, now. But But anyways, they not like us, and we not like them. Next up, we're going to be discussing some big things happening in China. Trying to strike a chord, and it's probably a minor. They not like us. New bitty cap. I like it. Just do it. Cop the bitty. BitcoinCaps.net. And I love the new design for the Bitcoin Sports Network. Pretty lit with the orange or the yellow lettering with the black with the camouflage. I shared that on my, what is it called? Timeline earlier. Shout out Emmanuel Carmo. Appreciate the sub. Thank you for subbing to the No. 1 Daily Bitcoin Pod. This gong strike is for you. Trump ended the Indian-Pakistan war too soon. Didn't get all the call centers, says Fax. What up, Fax? What it do? But anyways, fam-lam, keep the comments coming, and we're going to transition to the China stories of the day. Big news coming out of China, and then we'll continue with all the major headlines, fam-lam. So yeah, next story of the day. Let's break it down, shall we? After the infamous freeze frame. That was longer than anticipated. But yeah, this headline reads, China-linked consumer brand Day Day Cook plans to acquire 5,000 Bitcoin. There was another Chinese Asia strategy luxury watchmaker headline, but just going to touch upon the headline here and read the other story. Bitcoin Treasury pivots lift luxury watchmaker stock more than 60%. And it just goes to show you the sailor put working in full effect all across the world as, you know, they're just following the sailor playbook at the end of the day, adding Bitcoin to the treasury. But I want to read this particular story. Mainland China, one of the world's most restrictive countries towards crypto, may be inching closer to adoption as a locally operating brand announced a Bitcoin reserve strategy. That's right, another one bites the dust. DDC Enterprise, also known as Day Day Cook, a U.S. consumer brand with Hong Kong roots and operations in the mainland China, is adopting a Bitcoin reserve strategy, according to their CEO, Norma Chu, who announced to the shareholder letter on May 15th, yesterday. As part of the strategy, DDC acquired 100 BTC for 10.4 milli and plans to accumulate 5,000 BTC in the next 36 months. Enter the 36 chambers. Shout out to the Wu-Tang Clan, with 500 Bitcoin targeted by the end of 2025. Now, Chu's Bitcoin reserve announcement came after the firm posted a 33% revenue increase in 2024, with the total revenue amounting to 273 million Chinese yuan, which is 37.4 million USD, according to the Form 20F filing with the U.S. SEC. Despite the public announcement, the DDC latest SEC filings do not explicitly mention the company's Bitcoin holdings or the Bitcoin reserve strategy. Quoting them here, their CEO, "We are embarking on the pioneering initiative to position the DDC at the forefront of the digital asset innovation with a laser-focused execution on the Bitcoin accumulation." Chu previously announced that the DDC's intentions adopt the Bitcoin reserve strategy in another letter on March 18th, as announced right freaking here. DDC announces strategy to create the Bitcoin reserve starting with 100 BTC with a premium price. DDC share 100 BTC to start. Are you ready? More spaghetti. He's nervous, but on the surface. Anyways, although the DDC annual report does not mention the Bitty reserve plan, the SEC filings provide hints of the company's intended adoption of Bitcoin as a new asset class. Quoting them here, the company is evaluating strategies to obtain the required additional funding for the future operations. The company plans to diversify revenue streams and implement cost-saving measures to grow the revenue and decrease expenses. However, the company may be unable to access further equity or debt financing when needed. Additionally, the filing refers to the crypto disclosure guidelines set by the Accounting Standards Update by the Financial Accounting Standards Board, the FASB, issued in late 2023. Quoting them here. In December of 2023, the FASB issued ASU 2023-08, Intangibles, Goodwill, and Other Crypto Assets, accounting for the disclosure of the crypto assets in the filing notes, adding that the firms are allowed to start using the new rules in their financial reports, and they haven't been published yet. Meanwhile, the DDC's filing says that the firm partly operates in the mainland China and Hong Kong on the outskirts, which puts its financial conditions and growth under the influence of political, economic, and social developments. And as of May 2025, the mainland China has maintained a restrictive agenda towards the crypto trading and missing or the mining of 2025, when the local regulators announced a major ban on crypto transactions. However, many online reports have speculated that China may lift its crypto ban amid the growing adoption of the Hong Kong, call me Hong Kong Louie, as well as the ongoing global shift of the crypto fueled by the crypto-friendly approach of the U.S. under the administration of our new POTUS, name, Trumpster. Still, some analysts have questioned the mainland China's plans. Can't trust them, Chinese, some say. Unbanned the biddy, despite the fact that it has somehow remained a major global player of the Bitcoin mining even after the ban was enacted. But anyways, China's doing big things. I mean, the entire world is adopting Bitcoin, so you guys already know. And if you don't know, now you know. And our next big story is a $1 billion Bitcoin treasury acquisition from a medical group as, the future is just adopt Bitcoin and your stock will go through the roof. The sailor put, never disappointed. Anyways, I was banned for life on Facebook. That means you're a good person. It's the only way I define that. We shouldn't even still be using the email. I feel the same way. I honestly rarely check email. Back in the old days, I used to be like the email warrior. Now I don't even check it. It's like, what good comes? It's like checking your mail. There's nothing ever good coming. Occasional bill or something. That's about it. I'm just saying. But yeah, I rarely check emails nowadays. Maybe once a month, and then I'll have like hundreds to go through, and I just end up checking none of them. It's overwhelming. So it's like, why do I waste time checking email? Makes no sense. But yeah. But some people may like the email. I mean, to each their own. Do what it do. So if you want to communicate with me, do it through the podcast is the bigger picture here. I mean, their economy is going to shit. They need the biddy. Are you saying the Chinese economy is going to shit? I find that hard to believe. China economy seems to be thriving, but what do I know? Did you use the MailChimp? I've never used the MailChimp. I'm still old school. I use Gmail as like my primary email for the show, cryptonewsalerts11@gmail.com. I set up some Proton emails. I don't even think I checked them in years. That's supposed to be like decentralized email, Proton Mail. They just recently sent out a conference ticket to the email. That was a good email. Rare find, exactly. You'll find those rare finds. Like I may get something important for my daughter's school here and there, but they're rare. Few and far in between. Yeah, I mean. Shout out everyone joining us. We're still in the green. Hopefully we continue to pumpage. We do got massive major news coming up. Of course, very exciting times. Just do it. Stack the biddy 444 right now. I love numerology. 444. That's my mom's favorite number, by the way, and it says May 16th. So 4 is her lucky number, if you didn't know, from my mama. 444, May 16th. Very special numerology right here. So let's get it. Happy birthday to the moms. I set up a Proton email. It is useless for an email. Why do you say it's useless? My husband had the methane blue, and he's on the meth. The methane blue, that is. Respect. I hear that's some good stuff. Oracle highly recommends it. I haven't gotten mine yet, but I definitely need to order it. Bill, I feel your pain. The censorship of the US of A. Stack it, send it, buy it. Stacking a biddy. Save the bees, make honey. I remember those bars. Too many replies on the Facebook in a short period of time, got a temporary ban. They don't realize when we're just posting normal replies. Nothing bad at all. Tell it to Zuck, the lizard folk. Were you on MySpace? Yes, I was. I think back when MySpace was a thing, I was probably like 14, 15, and internet was kind of still new to me. And I think I used MySpace as like a dating profile. I remember I had like a picture flexing, like, oh, hey, look at me, girls. You may want to get a hot date with me. I think I used it for music. I was like posting songs and stuff like that. But yeah, I had a Facebook. That was back when Tom was my friend. Tom was everybody's friend, right? And then Facebook came along, and whatever happened to MySpace? And then people started using that analogy. Bitcoin's the MySpace of crypto. It's like, okay, buddy. You're comparing MySpace to Bitcoin. Okay. But anyways, it's a new hive. Only have 5 out of 10 frame. Yeah, I saw those posts. That's awesome. Follow on MySpace. Is MySpace even still a thing? Does it still exist? I haven't checked in maybe 15 years. I think I joined Facebook in 2008 and then never went back to MySpace, so I don't even know. Facebook is the meta by... Yeah, Facebook, in my opinion, is a part of the Truman Show. It's a part of the simulation. That's all by design. I don't believe the movie or the story Zuckerberg was the genius kid and created all this shit on his own. I think he was working with Central Intelligence. Yeah, I mean, just like all the rest, Bill Gates with Microsoft and even fucking Steve Jobs with Apple. I'll just throw it out there on the table. I'm very sus with all this shit. Whatever the official story is and they make a Hollywood movie on it, never believe it, because Central Intelligence is the ones writing the scripts or adding their twist in the scripts to mislead the population. Hence why we're deceived so bad, right? It's at an unconscious level, so most people don't even recognize it. The programming, and that's why it's called programming. They're programming your brain. You need to wash your brain. You need to be brainwashed from the bitty news, and that's the only way to cleanse yourself. You feel me? And we strike the gong, we raise the consciousness, and we praise God. Simple and plain. Uh-oh. Oracle's feeling ignored. Did I miss some comments? Sorry. I mean, sometimes I get on rants, and I can't read comments as I'm ranting. And I can only see the most recent 8 comments on my screen that I'm looking at. So I have to pull up my app on my phone to go back and backtrack. But anytime something significant I miss, just let me know. And I always circle back. So let's see what I missed. So my apologies. Don't mean to ignore you. Let's see what I missed. Unless you're being censored, because I don't see anything from you, Oracle. Ain't that weird? I just scrolled up for quite a bit, and the last thing I see from you is, do you use MailChimp? So you maybe have dropped some other things, but they're not listed. I mean, I just scrolled all the way through. I see nothing from you, just some LOLs and such. So you're probably being censored. I refuse to put any pics of my kids or grandkids on Facebook. I don't blame you. Shame, JV. Are you shaming me, Marcus? My son is not on social media at all, thank God. Only when I post the crashing of his bike. You posted that on TikTok? She sent that to me. It was kind of hilarious. I just share the hunter pics. If Facebook is still like 2020, that'll get you a permaban. Yeah, I lost all respect after 2020 as well, because I was trying to let people know to avoid the poison jab, and they're like, you're in Facebook jail. You're not allowed to say that. And then the fact checker bullshit. It's perfectly safe. Okay. Anyways, UAE played YMCA for Trump. I saw that. That's hilarious. I wanted to see the Trump pump dance. YMCA. The Village People, right? JB was born for this. Precisely. Anyways, all right. Next story of the day, eh? Let's see. I drank all the caffeine. I got to drink some alkaline water. Hydration. Let me tell you something. All right, next story of the day, yo. Where'd we leave off? The big news. We're going to do the $1 billion story here, just in. So give me a second to share my screen. Next breaking story of the day, family. Basel or Basel, I don't know the proper pronunciation. If someone could clarify, let me know. But I'm just going to say Basel. Basel Medical Group, which is the ticker BMGL, publicly traded company, announced plans to acquire $1 billion worth of the biddy. This article was just published on it, so let's dive into this. Again, the ticker on the NASDAQ is BMGL. You can look it up. They entered an exclusive negotiation for $1 billion acquisition of Bitcoin, marking a major shift in the financial strategy. The move will reshape the company's treasury reserves while continuing its focus on healthcare expansion all across Asia. Another Asian company blessed us with a biddy. The BMGL stated that the deal is being structured to a share swap arrangement involving institutional investors and high net worth individuals from the crypto sector. This initiative, once completed, is expected to position BMGL among the most financially flexible medical service provider in Asia Pacific. That's right. BMGL is aiming to build a stronger financial base to accelerate the expansion into the emerging Asian healthcare markets. The proposed transaction would diversify the company's balance sheet and improve its access to capital for future acquisitions. Dr. Darren Choa, Chief Executive Officer, said, "This $1 billion financial transformation will give us the capacity to execute our Asia growth strategy while maintaining conservative financial management." And he added that the move supports the firm's mission to become the top-tier healthcare platform across the region. The company is currently working with a group of crypto-focused investors to finalize the terms. BMGL expects the deal to close within the current financial quarter, Q2. Bring it! Pending regulatory approval, of course, and other standard conditions. The proposed Bitcoin acquisition is part of the BMGL broader strategy to enhance enhanced liquidity, reducing exposure to traditional financial instruments by incorporating the pretty low biddy going up forever Laura into the reserve. Like the U.S., the company seeks to create a more diversified asset base that may provide more resilience in the changing markets. That's right. For maximum resilience, you stack the biddy. And according to the announcement, the Bitcoin assets will support BMGL's future healthcare acquisitions. Management believes the strategic move could offer a new way to balance the risks while retaining access to immediate funding options. This development may also give the BMGL the ability to respond quickly to market shifts or investment opportunities in the fast-growing healthcare sector, particularly in the underserved areas across Asia. So game on. BMGL joins the growing list of the publicly traded companies that have added the Bitcoin to the corporate treasuries, such as Strategy with Mikey Saylor. Also in Brazil, there was big news today. Fintech firm called Meluís recently completed a 28 million Bitcoin acquisition for the shareholders' approval in a transition into a Bitcoin treasury company. They now hold 274 Bitcoin. Are you starting to notice a little trend? Every major company that is smart then doesn't have their head stuck between their arse is adopting a Bitcoin treasury strategy so their stock can go crazy, satisfy the shareholders, and satisfy the rest of the world. And next up, we'll be discussing Panama, likely to adopt a strategic Bitcoin reserve within the next 12 months. Game on. And then we'll dive into the bullishness from Trump Jr., I should say Eric Trump is the proper one, who is saying that Bitcoin will hit $1 million and also has some very favorable things to share about the biddy, which I'll be covering as our feature story of the day, and we'll do a little Q&A. Let's go. I like using the Facebook Messenger to send things to myself. That's funny. I do the same thing. Links to pics, reminders, and addresses. I send shit to myself as well. Ironic enough, Bill. You're not alone. Definitely is the one word I can never spell right. I just don't understand. Which word are we referring to there? I have the vitamin D deficiency because I am never out in the sun. Is the opposite of when I was a kid. Well, you know what you got to do? Take a supplement called vitamin D3. I would suggest the liquid vitamin combined with the K2. And take 10,000 IU per day. I'm not a doctor, not health advice, but I've been doing it, and I rarely ever get sick. Unless I'm hosting a 100K fiesta and I'm drinking 16 mojitos and going on a boat excursion the following day. That's the exception. Seashells. Yeah, we're bringing it back to the old days. And I think the Knickerbockers are playing the next game in Boston this evening. Is that accurate? I think this evening at 7 or 8. Hopefully the Knicks can win and seal the deal so we can stop hearing Portnoy flexing and making fun of us New Yorkers. I've had enough, Dave. Mr. Cabbage Hands. In 2008, people thought I was unalive, so they posted all these pics of me on Facebook. What? Had to make an account and reply to all of them. True story. That's how they got me there. That's crazy, bro. Holy shit. Holy shnikes. JV, did you see the hat Sergio posted? Yeah, I shared it. I shared it earlier and reposted it and showed it to everybody. I like it. I like all Sergio's caps, and I recommend everyone cop one. BitcoinCaps.net. And I love the new Bitcoin Sports Network cap as well, which I reposted last night. That one's pretty fly. It's like a black camouflage cap. I've never seen a black camo. So this is the white camo, black camo. Game on. Game on. So yeah, 1,000 live viewers. Excelente. Let me check the X feed. X gonna give it to you. Yeah, that's the one, Chandy. It's pretty lit. Now, I don't know if it's Sergio. Be careful with the Nike logos. Just want to throw that out there. You just never know. You may get a letter in the mail. But anyways, I dig it, brother. I like that it has the B branded in the check. I just noticed it. If you zoom in, notice it has like the B logo embroidered in the check. That's hot. So therefore, it's unique, and Nike can't do a damn thing about it. So take that, evildoers. So yeah, I'm digging it. I love the new caps. Short Coin is the cool kid. Be the cool kid and watch the crypto news. Thank you, Chandy, for reposting Short Coin. Shout out Marky Mark on the Funky Bunch. What it do? He wrote, "There's no second best. We're live right now and in the flesh." Damn straight. All right, next story of the day. Keep the comments coming. Much appreciated. Great day to stack the sats. Shout out to the Groovy Shoe, keeping it groovy. And there's a link to the precise hat we just shared with you. Thank you, Chandy. All right, next story of the day. Here's big news coming out of Panama. Check it. Panama City mayor hints at a Bitcoin reserve following the meeting with the El Salvador advisors. Who do you think the El Salvador advisors are? Max, Stacy, doing God's work out there in Bitcoin country. But I also want to share these tweets. Panama capital city mayor says the country will have a national Bitcoin reserve within a year. Nation state FOMO like a mofo intensifies. Nippinator got some competition. Look at this guy. We got to get Nippinator in one of these official positions now that he's no longer working for the SEC. Now also, thrilled to announce breaking news. Panama's #1 Bitcoin friendly bank, Tower Bank, will be the lead sponsor of the Max and Stacy Invitational. I will be there. The event is going down in January 2026. Cop your tickets today. MaxandStacyInvitational.com. Central American Bitcoiners for the win. Baby. That's the featured sponsor at the event. So you already know Panama's being orange-pilled as we're speaking. Only a matter of time for they adopt the Bitcoin strategic reserve for Panama. And but let's dive a little deeper into the particular story here. Panama City mayor and I hate when those pop-ups pop up. I got to hit no thanks. There we go. Panama City Mayor Mizrachi stirred speculation about a possible Bitcoin reserve after a cryptic post on X, and all he wrote was Bitcoin reserve. Now, if you can read between the lines, I think it's pretty self-explanatory. They're looking to establish a Bitcoin reserve. The cryptic post, oh my God, so cryptic, followed by his meeting with Max and Stacy, two of the key architects behind El Salvador's Bitcoin policy. Kaiser currently serves as Bukele's Bitcoin advisor, while Herbert leads the country's Bitcoin office. Hence, shout out Max and Stacy for doing God's work. El Salvador has implemented a Bitcoin forward financial strategy to accumulate top-tier biddies for its reserves. As of May 15th, El Salvador holds 6,178 Bitcoin, valued at $644 million, and before you know it, that'll be in the billion-dollar territory. Mark my words. And although the content of their discussion remains private, the timing of the post suggests the idea of a Bitcoin reserve may be on the agenda. Yeah, I'll second that. Notably, Kaiser had posted about how the two Central American countries can play a pivotal role in the Biddy future. Quoting Max here, Bitcoin is transforming Central America. El Salvador's geothermal and Panama's hydroelectric will power the Biddy revolution. Let's go. Meanwhile, this development reflects the growing global interest in national Biddy reserves following Trump's pro-crypto policies. And also big news out of the Ukraine, looking to establish a Bitcoin reserve. We covered that the other day as well. Meanwhile, Panama City's Bitcoin embrace, beyond hints of a reserve, Panama City also made notable strides in crypto adoption. Back in April, the city council approved using digital assets for public payments. Residents can now use Bitcoin, Ether, and stablecoins to settle taxes, fines, permits, and municipal fees. This makes Panama City the first government institution in the country to accept crypto and one of the earlier adopters worldwide for the public administration. Also, shout out Panama City. Let me know if you've ever been there. Panama's pretty lit. I used to often visit Panama when I used to live in Costa Rica, as I was surrounded by Panama and Nicaragua. So I'd often do my visa runs in Nicaragua because I lived in northern Costa Rica and Guanacaste province. But we'd also very often go to Panama. Panama City is pretty lit. It's highly developed, and it kind of blew my mind. I remember real estate was booming there when I was there. Like these little condos, high rises were like $500,000. I can only imagine real estate with inflation, how much it's appreciated since I was there. But I just want to give a special shout out to Panama, Central America for the win. Latin America, please stand up. And you already know. So that's pretty major right there. Next story, the world is trying to hoard Bitcoin right now, according to Eric Trump. And Eric Trump also says he is confident Bitcoin price will hit $1 million per coin. And of course, his younger brother, Barron, is a time traveler. So if anyone knows, it's Eric Trump. And if you don't know now, you know, Biddy Broskies. Anyone watch the recent Financial Times with Katie Martin documentary of Michael Saylor and his Bitcoin strategy? Hilarious. And her brain cells are more scarce than her teeth. Is she the idiot who is comparing Bitcoin to teeth? I already disproven that bullshit because you can regrow your teeth the same way you can transmute lead into gold. And that's a fact, Jack. In fact, that's a blackjack. So take that, evildoers, Financial Times. Like anyone takes financial advice from the Financial Times. The only one qualified to give me financial advice is Jim Cramer. Hands down. Go Big Jim and go Big Mike while we're at it. Now the pineapple face is long gone. Panama is a very cool country. Who's the pineapple face? Was that the previous leader? I'm not familiar with the pineapple face. I do still put pineapple on the pizza. They say it's unacceptable. They say it's sacrilegious. Some people call blasphemy, JV. But I love the pineapple on the pizza. And I ain't promoting the CP, I ain't no cheese pizza supporter like Portnoy. Katy Perry and Portnoy. I don't know who promotes cheese pizzas more. Hashtag Pizzagate. Just saying. Kramer's a clown, but he's the only one qualified to give us the financial advice, short coin. Real estate going down. Yeah, in Florida, big time. In New York, it's going up. Crazy. In Puerto Rico, it's going up. I dare say in most places, it's probably going up. I think Florida, there's just an over inventory, and there's just so many houses on the market, flooding the market. My aunt's a realtor. My background's real estate, by the way. I owned a real estate appraisal firm before I got into this whole internet thing. So, a lot of the property are way overpriced in Florida, and the values are dropping significantly. This is true. A veteran who served as the VO at the nonprofit I used to work with just sent me an out-of-nowhere message on Facebook asking how to get started on Bitcoin. That's right. Chandy's orange pilling. She orange pilled the hairstylist, and now she's orange pilling some veterans. I love it. I remember telling him about it May 24th. Hence, people listen when it's over 100,000 because you told them about it probably back when it was 60 or 70 or something. And then they're probably like, no, I don't know. And then they're just looking at it. Now it's like, Chandy's rich, and now they're like, damn it, I should have got on the biddy train. Anyways, read my last comment. You got it, Oracle. Let's see what I missed. Okay, I sent a cease and desist letter to the lawyers that sent me the cease and desist. That is hilarious. And are these really lawyers out of the UK? Do they even have jurisdiction on US folk? I wonder how that even works. But more power to you. Did you do it yourself, or do you have an attorney? That's awesome. You sent the cease and desist letter to the people that sent you the cease and desist letters just for creating content on X. It's mind-boggling. I noticed in the UK, literally they're sending police officers to people's houses for posting things against the agenda, whether on Facebook or X. Talk about lack of free speech. Bro, the XRP talk is hysterical, especially now that the judge won't let the case die. Yeah, I've been doing a deep dive into this, and this is not a coincidence. Judge Torres is connected to some very wealthy families. Believe it or not, she happens to be the judge presiding over the case. I don't think they want this to end. They have the power to end it. And maybe I'll go deeper into it during our Q&A segment if you really want me to. But it is hilarious. Good morning, Melbourne, Australia. What it do? Let's get drunk and kickbox some kangaroos, shall we? Is that what they do in Australia? Yeah, property taxes out of control. Some people who own their house outright can't even afford the fucking tax. It's insanity, bro. Insanity. Imagine owning your house for, let's say, in New York and having to pay $30,000 a year just for fucking taxes, which is probably more money than the average income in the United States. $30,000 a year, what is that, $2,500 a month in taxes? It's crazy. So houses are really designed to keep people poor. Do you guys understand that? It's all a deception. Go get a 30-year mortgage, buy a property, pay taxes on it every year you can't afford. And if you get unalived some way, you know, the government takes it over and your heirs have to pay the taxes for them to even get access to it. And do you know in China when I lived there, and this is like real, that you were not allowed to pass your house to your children. The government takes it. So you're not allowed to create a will. I don't know if they changed things, but when I lived there, the Chinese verified this because all of my students were only Chinese. I only communicated with Chinese people. So I was, you know, actually teaching in Chinese. But they said we can't leave our house. If you are lucky enough to be one of the few rich people, because it's like 99% poverty in China, but if you're a part of the rich folk in the 1%, you can't even leave your house if it's paid for to your grandchildren or children. The government just take it. So it's like one lifetime, and then it goes to the government. That's fucking crazy, right? Kangaroos can't dodge the taser. That's what they say. I don't know. I saw some pretty jacked up roos. You know what I mean? And no, I'm chicken, but I'm not taking on the kangaroo in the kicking battle. Funny you mentioned chicken. Yesterday, the author of the Chicken Little series was one of the guest speakers at my daughter's school. And she was very happy because they taught them how to draw like the chicken from the series or whatever. But anyways, talking to chicken. My husband finally sold his XRP. If he knows what's good for him, no more sex for the hubby until he sells the XRP. Plant your flag and stand firm, short coin. You're not going to be producing no more babies anytime soon. Get rid of the XRP. Yeah, scary over in England these days. I'd be afraid to fly there. What if they red flag us by social? Exactly, they can do that. And you better bet your bottom dollar they're watching you as you go into their country. China does the same thing. People just randomly follow you and shit like that. You know they can't have the 10 commandments in the courts. They can't have something that says don't lie, cheat, or steal because that's all they do. I didn't know that. Building the prosecutors, lawyers, and judges hostile working. Wow. But yeah, I do understand the court system thanks to people like, what's his name? What's that guy's name? Jordan Maxwell, who reveals all the, the ancient secrets and the courts and how shit really works. It's all satanic. That's why the judge is wearing the black robe. And it's to do with admiralty law and stuff like this. It's very fascinating how the courts work. The whole UK social media thing is way overblown. Maybe, maybe not. The fact that it even happens is unacceptable, though. You know what I mean? Because if it can happen in the UK, bet your bottom dollar can happen in the US. Same thing for China. If it can happen in China, it can happen in the US. The China is like a precursor to the government of the US. Hence, some would say the American government, it's like they're pushing Marxism, which is the precursor to the communism, full blown. It's like an experiment. Hence, in China, they rolled out the CBDC first with the social credit score. It's a precursor. It's like an experiment. It's like they're the guinea pigs, and then they'll release it on us. You know what I mean? You got your hat? Nice. Which cap is that, brother? I got to see it. You got to send me a picture. Somehow I never used her middle name as her last name on the Facebook. A word. Well, we're up to 1,100 people on the live stream. Try stream. We're still live on the X, rolling to YouTube. And I have to have this one. Shandy wants the new cap from my boy Sergio. Just be. It is a pretty lit hat. But anyways, you guys ready for our feature story of the day? Make some motherfucking noise. Let me know if you're ready.
You hear that cha-ching? It's my bitty bling. That sound money shaking up.
There we have it. I'm going to disagree with the chicken on the pizza, but I'm going to go with the jalapenos and the pineapple. Fresh pineapple, not the canned shit. And you bet your bottom dollar every pizzeria is using canned pineapple. Just want to throw it out there. Unless you're living in fucking Thailand or something. Or Costa Rica. You're getting canned pineapple. I know, because every single pineapple slice is identical. That's from a can, brother. Just want to throw it out there. Maybe stick to the jalapenos.
Game Satoshi style.
Bananas. I'm constipated yelling.
Truth on the chain. Yeah, we got that timeless flame. I got that Bitcoin swagger. You got that Bitcoin swagger. We got that Bitcoin.
Third cup of Joe. Oracle ain't playing no games. I love it. All right. Next story of the day. But if you were to compare a double shot of espresso, just pure espresso, it's not coffee, just espresso. How many coffees do you think is equivalent to like a double shot that you drink? I'm just curious if you want to share. 11:11 in Hawaii. Shout out Hawaii. Aloha. I only used the fresh cut pineapple. Now we're talking, Miles. Pineapple is also a superfood, as many of the fruits are. So very good. Time to explode through the firmament. That's what I'm saying. 104 incoming, surely. Hey now. All right, guys. 11:11 on the stream. That's my sign. All right, let's go. Bitty swagger. All right. You guys ready for the mom spaghetti? Nervous on the surface? Combo ready to drop? Bombs. All right, here we go. All right, fam, now for our feature story of the day. The world is trying to hoard Bitcoin right now, according to Eric Trump. He also says he is fully confident that the Bitcoin price will hit $1 million per coin. So here's the latest from the Trumpster. Eric Trump, that is. There is an ongoing race across the world for the Bitcoin accumulation, hence the term global hash war, which was coined by Max Kaiser. So shout out Max. And according to Eric Trump, the second eldest son of U.S. President Donald Trump, speaking at the crypto conference in Toronto on May 15th, that was yesterday. Shout out Toronto. Trump said that from families to government funds, everybody in the world is trying to hoard Bitcoin right now. Everybody. It's going up forever, Laura. The remarks came during the panel at the Consensus 2025, sharing the stage with Asher Ganut, the CEO of the Bitcoin mining company Hut 8. You know, they just partnered together for the American Bitcoin miner. Trump said Bitcoin adoption has been incredible. And that's an understatement, quoting him here. I am traveling. Is that a hint that his little brother, Barron Trump, is time traveling? Reading between the lines here, but I digress. I'm on a plane. Flat Earth plane. Everybody in the world is trying to hoard the Bitcoin right now. No kidding. Everybody, he reiterates. I hear it from sovereign wealth funds. I hear it from the wealthiest families. I hear it from the biggest companies. So kudos to all my Bitcoin fam who front ran all these governments, including the United States, Trump, and all of the rest. You guys deserve this. Trump described what he sees as two races in Bitcoin. Number one, the accumulation race, currently led by Mikey Saylor. He says, and the mining race. Number two, which marks his own involvement in the crypto space. President Trump's third child is co-founder of the American Bitcoin, the Hut 8 subsidiary. And on May 12th, the company announced American Bitcoin would merge with Gryphon Digital Mining in a stock-for-stock transaction. That will result in a public listing on the NASDAQ. Let's get it. The size of the Trump family crypto ventures has grown considerably over several years, from NFT collections and mining to meme coins and stable coins. They're all in. Say that again. Critics say the ventures pose conflicts of interest and open the door to potential corruption. At various points, the Democrats have called for investigations into the Trump crypto-related activity, proposed legislation aimed at limiting potential financial gains from the Trump family from meme coins, and walked out of a joint hearing on the digital assets, citing concerns over the lack of discussion about the president's involvement in the crypto space. Senate Democrats withdrew their support for the bipartisan stablecoin bill amid the ongoing scrutiny of the president's crypto ventures, though a second voting session will come May 26th, as we touched upon earlier. That's only 10 days out. And also this headline, Eric Trump confident the Bitcoin price will hit 1 million. And that's a very bold quote right here. So I want to share this. Prominent American businessman, executive vice president of the Trump Organization, and son of, obviously, the POTUS, delivered a striking prediction back on December 10th. That was a few months back. He confidently declared that Bitcoin will someday reach a value of 1 million per coin. So if the Trump family is telling you Bitcoin's going to 1 million. Kathy Wood says Bitcoin's going to 2.4 million. Arthur Hayes says Bitcoin's going to 1 million. JV says Bitcoin going to 1 million. Max Kaiser says Bitcoin's going to 1 million. Samson Mouse says Bitcoin's going to 1 million. Anyone that knows anything about Bitcoin, we know with absolute certainty Bitcoin will 10x to $1 million. It's inevitable. I firmly do believe that. He also says it's a store of value, it's a hedge against inflation, it's a hedge against political turmoil, political instability, acts of God, hurricanes, fires, floods, tornadoes, guys. That's what makes it so powerful. And he also says people are slow as hell to adopt the new technology, underscoring the importance of the early adoption. And he also says America is going to lead the digital revolution, and it's already happening. UAE adoption in full effect, Latin American adoption in full effect, adoption all over the world, Nipponator indicator in play. Welcome everyone to the Q&A segment of the live stream. It's getting dark very early because the skies are pretty dark today. Rainy day here in Puerto Rico, but nonetheless, we're here. About a half of my cup of coffee, JV, makes the coffee strong. Right on. And do you use a particular brand that you recommend? I'm just curious, because I know there's a lot of like health companies that infuse the health into the coffee, but I'm not currently drinking like a health infused coffee. I'm currently drinking Juan Valdez. I got like all the different flavors and I switch it up. But I was just curious for you coffee drinkers out there. Maybe there's like a magical coffee blend where if you just drink it, you print Bitcoin or something. Some real Bitcoin alchemy, transmuting coffee into Bitcoin, kind of like how the scientists and physicists just figured out how to convert lead into Bitcoin. Just saying, if you know any secrets, let me know. Don't keep it a secret. Nibinator's like dreaming right now. I hear him like in his sleep, making noises. 1.1 million in play. That's what's up. Speaking of the 1.1 mil, that's just what the doctor ordered and just wrote the prescription. 1.1 milli. Shout out Mr. Corvette, Ronin Crash, and the rest of the bitty van. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. My financial advisor is Michael Saylor. If you got to sell